Hi there, it's Karen at Simply Living for Him, here to do my daily devotional. I'm actually sitting in my husband's truck because it's quiet in here. It's one of those days where I can't seem to find a quiet place. Um, these devotionals are found every day on the YouTube channel or on my Simply Living for Him online community. So you can join either one of those to get these updates daily, and I will link below. Today I wanted to talk to you about something. I was feeling like really restless lately and wasn't really able to pinpoint it. And I just started to really have some conversations with the Lord, and I just started to think about where my restlessness is coming from. And I wonder if you can relate. In James 4, verses 13 and 14, it says, why do you say tomorrow we'll go do this or do that? Because you do not know what tomorrow brings. So look that verse up in the translation of your choice. And, that had me thinking about, I think a lot of our restlessness comes from not really living in the present and always sort of living in this mode, I think for most of us, of the future. And, it also says in Matthew 6, verse 34, don't worry about tomorrow because each day has enough trouble of its own. And, that got me thinking too, do we live so much for what's to come that we're really not living literally moment by moment, hour by hour? Because everything we do is the things we do right now are sort of like because of the future. I don't know if that makes sense, but, we're always writing in our planners. We're always thinking about, what's next on the agenda. We're always thinking about future plans, or what about this, or what about that? And we live so much in the future that it does cause this restlessness, and it does cause this feeling of kind of angst. It's like this undercurrent of angst, like you don't even realize what it's from. And I just started really thinking this morning, and I was like, Karen, you're always writing down your plans, for my ministry, writing down my plans for my homeschool, writing down plans, with friends, writing down plans for my kids, writing down plans, and then always thinking like what's coming down the pike, what are we doing next, what's coming in the fall, and what's next year, and it's like there's just so much future living that there's not very much present living. And so I've been really trying today to just like sit and be still and connect with the Lord and be like, Lord, what do you want me to do today? Yes, of course we have to plan for our future and do things, but I feel like 99% of our time is living in the future, at least for me. This is what I was convicted of today. And so I was looking at James 4 and Matthew 6, 34. And, just thinking about that and trying to put that into perspective. So do you do that? Do you wonder sometimes where this like angst comes from? Like today, like I said, I've been really this morning being like, I'm just going to sit and be still, read my Bible, connect with the Lord in this moment. Like, Lord, what do you want me to do today? How am I behaving in this moment? Because I don't even know if I have another one after this, right? You don't really know from one breath to the next. And so I'm really trying to be like, pause a little bit and be still. And it's so hard. I find my mind just keeps racing to later and tomorrow and next month. And it's really hard to really live for today. Like it says, each day has enough trouble of its own. Do not go there in your mind to tomorrow. It's wise to make plans. It's wise to think about tomorrow, but it's not wise to live there. It's wise to live in the present moment right now. And I never realized how hard it is to really just like not put my mind on the next thing, to really just be still and say, Lord, what do you want from me today? Like, what am I doing right now? How am I treating my family right now? Because a lot of times I can treat people badly, or I can get in a bad mood because I have a little angst about tomorrow or angst about the future. And I'm robbing of right now because I'm treating people with emotions based on things that haven't even happened yet. And so I just thought that would be a good thing to talk about today on this devotion, and see how you guys feel about that. Does that happen to anyone else? Do we live too much for the next thing that we're forgetting about the present thing? I asked the Lord, what do you want me to do with my life? Not my whole life, like right now. Because I think for me, I get really caught up in like, what's the big plan, Lord? What do you want me to do for you? And those are good things, but what do you want me to do for you today, right now, right this moment? There's a big difference. And then one moment by one moment builds on the next and the next. And I don't think we're supposed to know everything, obviously, that's going to happen. Like, I was talking with a friend yesterday about, the situation with the pandemic and kids going back to school in the fall. And this video is not about that, so I don't want to get into that, but I was talking about personally my daughter going back to college. And I said, we just don't know, and we won't know like every detail because it could change. And then I was like, you know what? Isn't that the way God wants us to live? Because we don't really have an opportunity to display faith if we know everything. And so we just live moment by moment, knowing that the future is in His hands. And no matter what, we really don't know what tomorrow brings, just like it says in James 4, verses 13 and 14. So I think living right today for this moment gives us an opportunity to really display our faith, to walk in our faith, to grow our faith, because I don't know that we're supposed to know all the details. Like I said, if we knew all the details, there'd be no faith. So I'm really trying to slow down a little bit, not get ahead of myself, make a plan in my little planner, and then really just focus on today. Because that undercurrent of angst, or I was feeling just restless, I realized where that's coming from. And I don't want that. I don't want to live like that. I want to live for this moment, and I want to live for Him.